Trump appears to be gaining momentum in key battleground states. According to the latest polls, he now leads Kamala Harris by 5 points in Arizona, a significant shift from the 2020 election, where Biden won the state by just a sliver. Back in 2020, Arizona saw a margin of only tens of thousands of votes, and last month, Trump was down by 5. But now, he's ahead. He's also made strides in North Carolina, leading by 2 points after trailing there by a similar margin just in August. And in Georgia, another crucial state, Trump currently holds a 4-point lead. These changes highlight just how competitive the 2024 race is becoming. In 2020, Biden won Georgia by less than 1%, and Trump barely secured North Carolina by less than 2 points. This time, both parties are fighting for every vote in what may turn out to be another nail-biter. Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina are all trending red right now. If Trump manages to hold onto these leads, it could secure him 276 electoral votes, just over the threshold needed to win the presidency. However, Democrats aren't out of the race just yet. They are placing their hopes on states like Nevada, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania, where the electoral votes could be divided and shift in Harris' favor. Pennsylvania, in particular, looks to be a crucial battleground once again, potentially becoming the deciding state in 2024, just as it was in 2020. One thing to keep an eye on is Nebraska. This state splits its electoral votes based on congressional districts, which means Harris could potentially grab 1 or 2 votes from there, as Biden did in 2020. Every electoral vote counts in a race this close. Now, both campaigns still have a path to victory, but it's shaping up to be a real battle in the swing states. Trump's strength in the Sun Belt is evident, but Harris is making gains in the blue wall states, key states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. A recent poll has Harris up by 7 points in Wisconsin, which could be an early indicator of a blue wall revival. In 2020, Biden managed to rebuild this blue wall after Trump flipped those states in 2016, but it's far from guaranteed that Harris can hold onto them. What's helping Harris is the massive ground game that the Democrats are putting together. Reports show that her campaign has poured hundreds of millions of dollars into mobilization efforts. There are over 300 field offices across key states, and thousands of volunteers are out knocking on doors, making calls, and doing everything they can to get out the vote. This kind of grassroots effort could be the key in razor-thin races like Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin. Looking at the issues that are motivating voters, it's no surprise that the economy is at the forefront. Polling shows that about 40% of voters consider the economy. This is a challenge for Harris, as she's still trailing Trump when it comes to perceptions of economic leadership, although she's narrowed the gap to around 5 to 10 points. But the Sun Belt states Arizona, North Carolina, and Georgia still seem to favor Trump when it comes to economic issues. On the other hand, Harris is resonating with some key Democratic constituencies, particularly younger voters and women. But she's facing challenges with other groups that were critical to Biden's victory in 2020. Hispanic and Black voters, who were crucial in states like Georgia and Arizona, are areas where Harris hasn't quite hit Biden's 2020 numbers yet. She's still playing catch-up, especially with Hispanic voters, which could be a problem in states like Arizona and Nevada. Another factor to consider is how voters perceive Harris. Some say her team has been cautious in putting her out for interviews or press conferences, which has raised questions about whether voters feel they know her stance on the key issues. Trump, by contrast, is well known for his assertive style and clear positions. The challenge for Harris is to connect more directly with voters and showcase her economic plans, especially as the election approaches in just 45 days. The next few weeks will be crucial for both campaigns. As Harris prepares to give an economic policy speech in Pennsylvania this Wednesday, it's clear her team knows that jobs and the economy are at the heart of this election. And while her media appearances have been mixed, ranging from interviews with networks like ABC to more high-profile sit-downs like the one with Oprah, her supporters argue that more direct engagement with voters on the issues will help her close the gap. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the next 45 days could see major shifts as both campaigns ramp up their efforts.